Netflix, that's where the future of buying DVDs has gone to, or buying VHSs. I mean, it's going to become this kind of lease thing with, you know, with Spotify and RDO and all those different, I mean, in Google Music Beta, it's kind of trying to do this whole cloud sharing of music and sharing a playlist, and it's awesome, but it's so hard to link yourself to. Like, I mean, as a film lover, I don't know if I really, like, feel this direct love to the movie when I'm watching it on Netflix, like I did whenever I went and bought, like, the special DVD case that had all the special features and the good marketing, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. You know, I've still got them all lined up in a case, and I don't really know why, because I doubt I'll ever pull out my DVDs and watch them again when I can watch them all online. You know, and I think that loss of an actual tangible relationship, I don't think there's going to be, I think it's just going to change. It's not going to be to the actual, the actual product itself. It's going to be to the band if the band does it right, I think. And I think that just takes a lot more work on our end. You know, we really have to engage, and without engaging to them, you can't get that direct-to-fan connection, and that's taking advantage of what's happening, not just becoming a wallflower and letting it sweep you away.
I think that's a huge keyword what you said. It takes a lot more effort on the band's part. You know, it's like before you just put your music out there, goes to radio, you know, you show up, play a show. Now you have to like do something all day long, stay engaged, and talk to your crowd.
Although I'll say this, I saw a quote. My sphere is tech more than it's music. Like my day in day out is at a startup, and I saw somebody with a quote recently because you know you got all these great tech conferences like South by Southwest Interactive or God knows what, and I mean they go on all fucking year long, and it's like, do people go to work or are they just at these conferences? And I saw somebody mention the other day, I think it was actually a venture capitalist that maybe that is somehow related to some of the firms here in Austin, and the guy said, you know, the thing I get from most tech conferences is that people come in and they listen to all these things and they're like, I want to do that. And then they go home and they refuse to do the work. And what we have is this whole generation of wantrepreneurs, not entrepreneurs. They just want the good things at the end.
That's a perfect word.
Yeah. And so, actually, I said like 140 words. He put it in 140 characters, so clearly I took some liberty there. But yeah, I don't know, that's kind of where it is too. And that's, you know, do we want it to, am I opposed to the thought that somebody is actually going to have to learn how to play that music? Or they're going to have to learn how to sing, and they just can't pay some guy to make a video Friday, or whatever the hell that thing was. I don't want to listen to that crap. You know, I don't want Paul to have to do more work, but everybody other than Paul, if they did a little bit more work to have that awesome product we talked about to begin with, I as a music fan, I'm probably going to have a much better experience in the end than if I just listen to the K-Show all day long.
Yeah. I think one of the sort of things that are going to emerge is even more crowdsourcing and sort of collaboration with the fans. It's sort of emerging, and social media has sort of brought it about a lot. And there's, you know, we talk about movies, there's comedians, Paul F. Tompkins in particular, who he uses a model where it's I think it's called the 300 Club, and he says if you can get 300 fans to commit to buying tickets, I'll come to your city. So he doesn't organize tours unless he knows he has an audience guaranteed. And so it's almost turning that whole if we build it, they will come model on its head. And sort of if they build it, you know, we will come. So, you know, it's sort of an interesting thing, and just really communicating, finding out what your fans want and delivering on that.
The Beastie Boys have done an awesome job on what Daniel was just talking about, and having like private shows and making this kind of like underground exclusive vibe that you can get by actually interacting with the band. You're going to get a much more enhanced experience. It's like the special features to the band is interacting through them through social, and I love that. Because if you build it, they will come as a model. I don't even know if that's a model that really would work for it. I mean, everyone has this belief that you just build a Facebook page and all of a sudden people will find you and come to you and like you and comment, and you know, then they get frustrated when that doesn't work. And I think that Kevin Costner is ruining a culture anyway, so it's just another proof to what he's given us. I mean, you can't just build something and hope people will come to you. It doesn't work that way.
So I have one more question, and I hope it doesn't sort of derail us, because we could have a whole panel on this one. But recently, there was an article in the Houston Press.
It's going to derail us.
Yeah. And, well, we'll see where it goes. Hopefully we can get to it quickly. It was also on the cover of the Dallas Observer. John Lomax pretty much dissed Austin. How many of you saw that? Or maybe saw Lewis Black's retort to it this week? I'll just read a little piece of it. he dissed Austin all around. The music part was only a small part of it, but he said, today, save for the old timers, there's no Austin music that sounds like Austin, the way the Cosmic Cowboys, Retro Blues, Folks, and even the Austin Punks and New Wavers did. The bands that have created national buzz, like Ghostland Observatory, Spoon, Ockerville River, Octopus Project, could just as easily be from Portland, Brooklyn, Toronto, San Francisco. Today's Austin city limits could easily be called indie city limits, but that's a national trend. Music everywhere is starting to sound like music anywhere. I have my own opinions about this article, but I want to know what you guys think. Is Austin not cool and not the live music capital?
If Austin is the live music capital of Texas, then what is?
I know.
You know, I mean, there's like, I would like him to name
World.
like 10
World.
or the world.
I know
But,
Texas
mean,
is the
he's
world,
actually,
but
he's actually trashing Austin is just not even as
Not as cool
big
as
as Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would love to challenge him to name 10 Houston bands. You know, and he's from Houston because that aren't Texas rap, right? But
exactly. 3-6 Mafia.
you know, it's just one of those things. Like, it's not to me. It was just it's not even worth really worrying about because everything, you know, like you said, everything sounds like it could be from Portland or wherever. That's just everything's globalized now. You know, everything's starting to sound like other stuff because we get it so immediate, and we can, you know, do it at home and copy. You know, I was just thinking today when I heard that Pumped Up Kick song today by was that Foster the People?
Foster the People.
I was thinking, man, this new Gorillaz song by Foster the People is really good. You know? It all sounds
Another Austin City Limits Festival artist.
But you know, it's just one of those things. But it's like, you know, something that's popular and it's easy to mimic now.
So on the article, my personal opinion is really just a big giant so what. Like, you know, Austin is so rad as a city, and the problem is that, you know, I'm from Houston, right? So I've got, like, you know, the whole perspective that this article is about is like, you know, you look at Houston and Dallas, and is Austin really different? It's totally different. I don't know I mean, I get some of the points they're making. I agree with some of the points they're making. There's this problem with Austinites being really too stodgy and loving their city over all other cities, and like, oh, if you're not in Austin, you don't know anything about Texas. I mean, maybe. You know, that attitude sucks. You know, that never makes people feel included, and I've always hated that attitude. That doesn't mean that Austin sucks. I mean, I happen to have like a magnetic pull on all of my friends to get them to move to Austin. Every single person I know from Houston is on their life plan, they're moving to Austin. And it's because this is an awesome city. And, you know, there's this old culture, and I don't mean to diss it because I love a lot of these people in this culture. I've got a close friend who did a lot of touring with Willie Nelson, and he likes to go to Saxon and all these old venues, and that's awesome. It's still around. But it's like not to be incendiary, but it's like they're holding on to the death throes of a culture that is changing. And they don't like it to change. It's like the way that their parents were growing up and the way that their parents were. You know, they saw Elvis and they called him Elvis the Pelvis and thought he was satanic. And, you know, that's what times change and Austin changes, you know. We now have Octopus Project and, you know, Ghostland Observatory are awesome, like kind of fusion electronic acts, you know, and you're seeing that a lot. And you're seeing people mixing genres and taking music that's ethnic and mixing it with rock and then adding a little blare of funk to it, and now you've got something that's kind of more Austin. It's kind of fusion now. That's our culture. That's what we've developed into. Get over it. You know what I mean? That's my opinion, personally.
Well, I think this might surprise you guys, but I'm not a native Texan.
Southern accent you have.
Very southern.
But basically, I think much like the startup community in Austin, the thing that makes it so different is the collaboration and the sort of the community behind it. You know, you'll go to shows, and you know, I was at a Saints of Ari show the other day, and there were probably 8 to 10 other bands represented, all there to support, and they all come out and they all support each other. They collaborate, and Zilly's collaborated with everyone in town, and you know, everyone's sort of working together. It's this great community, you know, and it's just, you know, like I said, the startup community is the same. But you know, I've lived in different cities all over the world, and I've never seen anything like that sort of the camaraderie that's in the music community here.
So the only person that physically got called out in that quote, though, was Tom. ACL Live. What do you say, Tom?
Wow.
And I say this in the Tom is like, ACL fucking rocks, you know? So, Tom, tell us why he's wrong.
I think he's right. No, I don't. It speaks to the emotional impact of music, though. If I'm in Austin in the 70s, hell yeah, I think Armadillo World Headquarters is the greatest venue that's ever been. I came to Austin in the 80s, so when I saw the replacement